People have a tendency to care more about what other people are thinking about them rather than what their soul wants. So they live from, so what's so-and-so going to think of me? What's my mother going to think of me? What is society going to think of me? Inside, everyone has a destiny. A bright, beautiful destiny. To be great being, to be great lights, to live fully. Oftentimes, people will dim their light to fit in someone else's paradigm and end up with crisis, end up with disease, end up with prolonged sadness. If you could just step out of that, there is so much life to live. Mediocrity always attacks the excellence. It's kind of a rule. No one's going to attack the couch potato. If you're sitting there on the couch eating potato chips, getting fat, and doing nothing, no one says anything. But the moment you start to walk towards your dream, you start to break habits, you start to change relationships that no longer serve that dream, you start to be talked about. Many people are afraid of failure, which really means they're just afraid of being ridiculed. But once you become aware that you're going to be ridiculed if you fail, and you're going to be talked about if you succeed, then you're probably going to put that aside. And if you were to go forward and you fail, oh, he went forward and he didn't make it. Or if you go forward and you succeed, they'll say, oh, it was luck. Whatever they say about you. So the more you get that out of your mind, or become aware that people are going to talk about you either way, then you go for it. And at the end of the day, you know you're different because you went for it, and that you're going for it actually brings out latent powers and gifts and talents within you. You can't bloom unless you go for it. So when you reach for your next mountaintops are endless. When you reach your next peak, who's with you? Are the people that are supposed to be with you, or could be with you, based on what you become. Now, you go for another peak. You keep your heart open. You never just jettison people out of your life. Your heart is open. It's always open. But you're constantly growing and unfolding. It's not just achieving the goal, it's actually who you are becoming, on the way to bringing that dream to manifestation. And then, in your new becoming, you have a different vibration. And now, the people that are at that vibration are hanging with you. They support, they love, they appreciate you, and they cheer you on. You know, rather than tear you down. If you're living in that paradigm of scarcity and lack, you tear people down. If you're living in that paradigm of abundance and opulence, there's enough for everybody, so your success makes me happy. I'm not in the paradigm of thinking that because you succeed, there's less for me. I'm in the paradigm of thinking that if you succeed, it's a shining example. What he did was possible. Some people's mission is to teach, heal, inspire, uplift. To create some level of art that's going to inspire. And we all have different missions, but every mission carries a larger purpose, and we're here to discover it. People grow into their purpose in two ways: crisis or insight. Sometimes when your back is against the wall and you're in crisis, then you begin to ask different kinds of questions, like, why do I keep doing the same thing over and over? And then you start to open up. There's something bigger that has your name on it. It's calling you. And sometimes people grow through having insight. They get inspired. Something happens and they're able to see, wow, my life is more than what I thought it was. Your pain pushes you until your vision pulls you. We're actively pushed by pain until we're pulled by a larger vision. First of all, you have to break practices, the habits of mediocrity. Just living life in which I'm protecting myself. Why me? What's wrong? Why me? What's wrong? Who's to blame? Those questions keep you very narrowly focused. Everyone's looking for an scapegoat. It's his fault. It's my parents' fault. They have a very limiting scope of perception. But when you begin to ask an empowering question, how can I share? What's trying to emerge in my life? What gift do I have to give? How can I cultivate that gift? And we move into practices in which we ask ourselves, how can I give today?